really fast. So if you want to call 4571043, if you want to add a comment, 4301043, or Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. And you gotta do it now. Now, there's an article on Searchlight that speaks to some people within the Anglican Church who are upset with Bishop Leopold Friday for disclosing to the congregation Sunday gone that a young lady came forward, wrote a letter to the church, and said, when I was 15, about 30 years ago, I was raped by Mr. Man. Right? The church called Mr. Man in for a meeting. This is according to the article. Right? And said to Mr. Man, listen, we've been presented with this. Did you do it? According to what Bishop shared to the church on Sunday, Mr. Man did not deny it. He was very close to retirement. Compulsory retirement of 70 years. After that, well, of course, from hearing, all right, no denial there for the allegation. Okay, you can't preach no more. That's it. You can't preach no more. Now it says here that subsequently he sent in a letter of resignation or retirement, right? As of November 1st. Bishop shared all of that to the congregation. The general contents of the letter, when it happened, where it happened, and the fact that it happened, allegedly happened, while Mr. Man was a priest in St. Lucia. All of that considered, the fact that there are other churches, things happen for 70 years, ongoing for 70 years, and they sweep things under the rug and cover things up without dealing with it. People vex, and saying that it should have been dealt with behind closed doors, and considering the Mr. Man's feelings. You can't be serious right now. And saying they're going to take the money somewhere else. They're going to put the money in a different church. So, which church are you going to? Right? Which church are you going to? Instead of covering things up, Bishop was accountable to the people of the church. He was also accountable to God and accountable to himself. It's not like if you're dealing with petty theft or something that happened before he became a priest. Now here is something else about, I'll get to your responses. Here is something else about that. That's not sitting well with me at all. The allegation apparently occurred while you were a priest. But here, when you send in your letter to say you're not going to do this anymore, when the young lady came forward and told the church, this is what happened about 30 years ago. When she came forward and shared what happened, which is unlawful and sinful, is when you decide to call it quits. That is when you decide to call it quits. Not when it happened while you were a priest about 30 years ago. And people still want to consider your feelings. Why you didn't resign when it happened? You didn't know it was wrong back then. You didn't know. Why you didn't send in your letter back then? Huh? And people want these things to be dealt with behind closed doors. so that you don't shame the perpetrator and bring shame to his name. Let me tell you something though. The fact that it is out in the open, that is not the reason that shame is being brought to the individual's name. The reason that shame is being brought to his name is because he committed the act. And at no point, publicly, at no point, remember the young lady, she wrote a letter, 30 years of suffering, 30 years of possibly post-traumatic stress, 30 years of all of that, yeah? How come nobody considering, how come the people who upset with the bishop for sharing this, how come y'all ain't consider her feelings too? But you want to say that bishop has there's something between the bishop and Mr. Man? And what if there is? Does that make what happened right? Let me read the comments because we have 3 more minutes and I promise to read your comments. The people who are in the church and is against the way the bishop made his pronouncement are devil's angels in the church. The bishop did the right thing. Compared to all what we have seen in the Catholic Church, I praise that bishop. Crystal, we need to look at the history of the Anglican Church. Moral compass, the head of that church, well, the head now or the head back then? Not sure. Good morning, Crystal. I think the bishop did right. My only concern is whether the accused was told that this was the measure he would take. Transparency is important. A different comment there. Or maybe it isn't a different comment. Crystal, good morning. My country, St. Vincent, reminds me of a modern day South Africa when Mandela was in prison and the white people were in charge of the country. Is this in relation to... Anyways, let me move on. I thought it was. I think he did something good, that to teach everyone that knows about guys like this to open up and talk what they're doing so we parents can protect the children from pedophiles. Thank you, Hurricane Man. It was fixed. Thank you very much. Let me go up here. Let me go up here. Public. 30 years of abuse and that individual is talking about mature and move on. You see how some people can be inconsiderate and selfish? This individual, woman, went through years of sexual abuse. Well, it's just like one account. But anyways, and these people are worried about his public shaming. SMH, damn right. I'm reading. All right. Now, let me read another response. Sorry about that. You know how it is sometimes, right? I applaud the Anglican Church for their handling of the atrocious actions that were carried out by one of their leaders. This individual, whether we want to accept it or not, has been a threat for many years to its members. He hurt one that we have been told of for decades. When these things are kept secret, they are allowed to continue. Now this lady, after decades suffering at the hands of this man, there are people who are worried about his feelings of public shame. Max was right. You are all aids and abettors. Unbelievable. Let me see if I squeeze in this voice note here. Crystal, when does wrong become right? This situation will open a can of worms. I hope the church can deal with it. Coming from Facebook.
Good morning, Crystal.
Good morning. Last one and I'm gone.
I know this is Simon from San Diego.
Hi, what's up?
This is a thing why you see some people do not believe in Christianity. Mm-hmm. Because why? Christianity is not a joke, right? And some people take it as a joke. Some people take it for the benefit. Some people take it, because why? It's an easier way to get out of certain things, and it's a way that they can able to do the dirty work, right? Mm-hmm. and then put on this, thing face on, blah 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 blah. I think they should that thing there, and I like the way as how they deal with it in the public, so the public can able to know what was going on, what went on, and his retirement. They should able to cut his retirement pension, to zero, because you a man of God that people look up to, preaching in the church every Sunday. Thou shalt not, commit fornication. Thou shalt not commit sin, and then you're one of the biggest sinners. So it's right that they put it out in the public, so the public could be aware of what was going on, and they can able to take proper precaution in the future. Because it didn't make no sense he come and tell me, my house is dirty, and yours is more dirty than mine. No. I look up to you as a leader, right? As a bishop, as a pastor, and whatsoever how it goes. And then you behind, you behind the robe there, doing, your dirty work. No. So I totally agree.
Thank you. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. At this time, we have to wrap things up. It's 1 minute past the 9 o'clock hour. All right, the juggling is going to start right now with ZJ Stumpai and DJ Q. All right. Well done, well done, well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. By the way, a little bit about me, right? I don't go to church every Sunday. I'll be honest with you, I can't tell when last I went to church. But I am an Anglican, and I stand behind Bishop. God, have a wonderful weekend. See y'all Monday morning. Listen, should I remind people that International Men's Day is coming up or not? No? All right, cool. Bye. Later.
From the salons to the barbershops and stores, they've got us locked for that weekend style. We love Fridays.
You wanna run, you wanna stay,